March 6, Fourth Sunday of Lent. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. The tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to listen to Jesus, but the Pharisees and scribes began to complain, saying, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." So to them Jesus addressed this parable. A man had 2 sons, and the younger son said to his father, "Father, give me the share of your estate that should come to me." So the father divided the property between them. After a few days, the younger son collected all his belongings and set off to a distant country, where he squandered his inheritance on a life of dissipation. When he had freely spent everything, a severe famine struck the country, and he found himself in dire need. Coming to his senses, he thought, "How many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food to eat, but here am I, dying from hunger. I shall get up and go to my father, and I shall say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. Treat me as you would treat one of your hired workers.' So he got up and went back to his father. While he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son.' But his father ordered his servants, 'Quickly bring the finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Take the fattened calf and slaughter it. Then let us celebrate with a feast. Because this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.' Then the celebration began. Now the older son became angry, and when he refused to enter the house, his father came out and pleaded with him. He said to his father in reply, 'Look, all these years I serve you, and not once did I disobey your orders, yet you never gave me even a young goat to feast on with my friends. But when your son returns, who swallowed up your property with prostitutes, for him you slaughtered the fattened calf.' He said to him, 'My son, you are here with me always. Everything I have is yours. But now we must celebrate and rejoice, because your brother was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.'" The Gospel of the Lord. The other lost son. Let us focus on the elder son who remains at home and reflect on why he likewise is lost. He enters the scene in the second half of the parable as he plods back home from the field. He hears the sound of music and dancing, and upon inquiry is told that his younger brother has returned, and that their father has given him a big celebration in welcome. The elder son becomes angry, whereas the father welcomes the younger son with compassion. He responds with anger. His sense of justice and the judgment he pronounces over his brother prevent him from entering the house and welcoming the guests of his father as hospitality requires. Thus, he insults his father publicly. When the father comes out of the house and pleads with him, he already exposes himself to public humiliation. A son is supposed to be at the beck of his father's call. Still, the son makes a series of actions that further hurt the old man's feelings. He begins his reply by omitting the title Father and enumerates his father's failures. He says that he has been working like a slave for his father, yet he has not been given even a kid goat, implying that he regards his father as an employer or master, not as a loving and generous parent. He expects a reward precisely on the basis of his work as a slave, on the basis of his own steadfast service in not transgressing his father's command. The parable then ends with the father's pleading for the elder son to come into the house and join in the celebration. Everyone waits in suspense for the son's response, the father as well as the guests in the banquet hall. Jesus' words remain in the gospel as a pleading invitation for all of us.